come to a comfortable seat. And once you come to a comfortable seat, I just wanted to talk a moment first to get us feeling into the body, shifting the weight side to side, and just noticing what it feels like to have arrived on your yoga mat this morning, connecting you to the ground, to the floor. And then let yourself also begin to notice what it feels like around your chest, noticing the rhythmic quality of your breathing. So for today's practice, I'd like to try to see us make more space between our thoughts. So instead of allowing ourselves to identify with thoughts and to let certain thoughts grab us, moving from identification with thoughts to witnessing them, becoming an observer of the constant flow of thoughts, noticing how some thoughts have a little bit more momentum and energy. And what we're trying to do today is notice how it feels.
Found it.
Notice how it feels to become a witness to your thoughts. So letting yourself observe. Nisi, if you don't mind muting yourself. Letting yourself observe what it feels like to become the observer, where we slowly start to detach ourselves from each of the thought forms that arise. And in order to do this, remembering that it's important to anchor your attention. So instead of just asking yourself and judging yourself not to have thoughts or to make, instead give your attention something to focus on. Start to become more curious. Instead of this mental chatter, noticing instead the energy of our thoughts within our body. Letting yourself begin to visualize the movement and flow of energy with each of your thoughts. Or starting to anchor your attention on the movements, the moment by moment sensations of your breathing. So maybe you start to take longer inhales and exhales here, observing what it feels like to light up your inner world through your breathing. Expanding through the lungs, expanding your ribs horizontally. Maybe you let yourself sigh it out. A few more times of anchoring your attention and witnessing your ability to release thoughts and train your attention to stay anchored in curiosity and observation of the movement of your breathing. One more slow inhale. Open the lips and slowly sigh it out. And now allowing yourself to come to laying down on your back. And once you come to laying down on your back, letting yourself and let yourself slowly to lengthen up your low back, where we tend to hold so much. You're in one part of your low back that's been bothering you. Maybe you start to go in little circles with your knees. Start to tune in to the sensations of your body and notice this point of awareness that doesn't get yourself. Bring your knee in and extend like the mat. And with your left leg down towards the bottom of the mat, maybe you point and flex the toes or make circles with the toes. See what feels best for you today. Start to tune into your own inner teacher. And then allowing yourself to take a nice long inhale. Feel the inhale travel through the left hip flexor, up the left psoas muscle. Feel it reaching to front. One more like that. Slowly inhale. Move through the hip flexor on the left side, psoas muscle. And as you bring it over towards the left side and extend the right arm out toward the side. Gazing towards your right shoulder, let yourself notice, instead of shoving yourself so deeply into it, start to release the rigid ideas of what each of these postures should look like. And instead, start to investigate the felt sensations of the breathing. Maybe you don't twist so deeply right away and you let yourself notice what it feels like to come up to that first edge. Noticing compassion towards yourself. There's so much that's been going on in our lives lately. Be more kind towards yourself throughout your asana practice. One more slow, long inhale. Open the lips. And bring your right knee back to center, giving it one big right leg down. You bring the left knee. Inhale, toes. Maybe at the ankles. Letting where you start with each of the sensations space between each of your thoughts by anchoring your and notice the breath up the right psoas and lengthen it all the way up to the head, and make sure that you're paying close attention to that exhale. With your next slow exhale, gently bring and maybe you extend your left arm, gazing towards the left shoulder, trying not to be so rigid with the ideas of the form or the posture. Instead, let yourself investigate this container of sensations. Maybe you start to notice or even pretend to observe these organs that you're giving a gentle little hug to with this final twist. See if you can visualize all of these pieces working together cohesively for you. Smooth, long inhale. Opening the lips. Coming back to center, giving it one more big squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the right knee back in, slowly going to side on the lower back. A little bit. You're trying to send your tail away from, and then from position, but the end of every step of the journey. Go into a fetal position on your side, and then you let yourself press your palms down, noticing how your palms support you, and transitioning into your tabletop position. And once you come towards your tabletop position, checking the alignments, making sure that your palms are directly under the shoulders and that your knees are directly under your hips. Moving into cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, opening up the chest. Exhale to round the spine, tucking the chin and the tailbone all the way under. Inhale to drop the belly. Feel the stretch through the front part of the torso. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Continue with your rhythmic breathing, guiding your movements. Give yourself the anchor of the sensations of your breathing, and try to move away from the thoughts by noticing how the breath is opening up the body as you inhale. Notice the contractions as you exhale. A few more times at your own breathing pace. Really let the breath guide your movements. Maybe you want to add organic movements. Maybe you stretch out the sides of your body. And pay close attention to what happens through the ribs when you start to stretch out the sides of the body. Or maybe you let the head hang completely and let it go side to side. So you stretch the neck. Listen to your own body though. This is your opportunity to do anything that your body's been craving. And then slowly moving into your child's pose. So for your child's pose, listen to what I'm telling you, your neck and your shoulders. So instead of allowing yourself to reach your fingertips all the way forward and injuring and putting additional tension in your neck, can you slide your shoulder blades down your spine and reach your fingertips forward? So focus on these opposing energies as your fingertips move forward, your shoulder blades slide down the spine. Now visualize the ribs expanding horizontally. Feel the belly drop on the inhale. Open the lips. Inhales, you can also separate your knees if that feels better for you, so you truly let your belly hang. One more rhythmic breath. And if you separated your knees, go ahead and bring them back together. We're going to go into Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, letting yourself come to laying down on the belly, pressing your forearms onto the mats, making sure that your elbows are directly under the shoulders. And then from there, instead of just deeply back bending, try to feel what it's like to send your heart forward and then lift it up. Trying to feel your elbows squeezing back behind you will give your heart a bigger pull forward instead of collapsing so much into your low back. And instead of shrugging into your neck and shoulders, how can you lengthen your neck a little bit more? Feel the stretch of the psoas. Notice the hip flexors opening, engaging through your toes. Breathe here, one more nice long inhale. Open up the lips. Slowly coming down onto the belly. Letting yourself feel fully supported there for a moment before we go into the second round of back bending. And for this next one, we're going to try to lift up our arms and our feet, trying to strengthen up the back muscles. So let yourself rest here for one slow rhythmic inhale. Notice the exhale, relaxing the body. And then going ahead and letting your hands press back behind you, palms facing up. You're going to slowly inhale, lift your chest up off the mat, bring your palms up, and then point through the toes, letting yourself massage the abdomen, breathing rhythmically here, 5 smooth inhales and exhales. Notice the energy at your toes, noticing your palms lifting up your heart. Breathe there, 2 more slow breaths. Let your whole body activate instead of just feeling it in the low back. Feel your calves pulling you up towards the sky. 1 more breath. Exhale, slowly come down, child's pose. Letting yourself once again feel the stretch in the low back. 1 more smooth inhale. And then open up the lips, side out. Now keeping the knees together, we're in a dog. So staying in your upward dog here, notice what it feels like to really align yourself so you're not compressing into your neck and your shoulders. So instead of dumping all of the weight and feeling your neck get really short, how can you press down through your palms? Send your heart forward, move your shoulders back, and feel length in the back of your neck. If you want, see if you can press onto the tops of your feet, lifting up your knees off the mat. Breathe there. 1 more inhale. Exhale into your first downward dog. Letting yourself bend into 1 knee at a time, or whatever your body, listen to your body. Maybe you want to go ahead and do a 3-legged dog and open up the hip flexors. Or maybe you just focus on deeply bending into the knees so that you can lengthen your spine as much as possible. So instead of focusing so much on heels getting close to the earth, if your heels are close to the earth and you're arching in your back, then that's not really the goal of downward dog. So instead, find as much length through your arms up to your tailbone. One more nice long inhale. Gazing forward, inhale to tippy toe the feet all the way forward. Noticing the journey. Observe yourself arriving. Inhale, open up the spine, halfway lift. Stay here for a few breaths, really aligning your halfway lift, noticing what it feels like to hollow out the lower part of the belly, and try to feel yourself press it back towards your spine so you lengthen up your low back as much as you can. Collarbone. So instead of rounding into your shoulders or neck, let yourself open up the shoulders, fingertips either on the shins, or if you're flexible, fingertips on the mats or palms on the mats, but lengthen up your neck and spine. One more breath there. Exhale, forward fold. Staying in your forward fold, letting yourself relax through the neck. Maybe you let yourself go side to side with your gaze and let yourself observe what it feels like to be in this forward fold where you're compassionate towards your experience. So instead of trying to feel the deepest hamstring stretch, focus more on the release in the low back. Find a few mindful breaths with your attention at your low back. If you have tight hamstrings, then bend your knees and bring your elbows onto your knees. Really trying to notice and observe what it feels like to release the tension in your neck and the low back. One more smooth inhale. Inhale, half lift, open up the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Micro bend the knees, inhale, rise. Reaching the arms all the way up. Bringing the palms together, wrap the shoulders towards the front of the body, look up at the thumbs as the palms touch, and exhale, Samasthiti, hands by the side. So stay with your deep rhythmic breath. Find your rhythmic breathing once again if you lost it, remembering that today we're trying to stay anchored in the attention of the sensations within the body because of our breathing. So constantly witnessing your ability to come back to the sensations of the breath, bringing your hands together at heart center. Notice your inhale start from the base of your spine, branch out behind the ribs, the lowest parts of the ribs, feeling the very top of your inhale, open up your heart space. Feel your heart floating. And as you exhale, notice that connected, rooted sensation from the pelvic floor at the very end of your exhale. So feel into the sensations of your breathing like this. Keep noticing a smooth rhythmic quality of breathing. And remember that when you feel agitated, to try to come back to this rhythmic quality of breath. One more smooth inhale, noticing it travel through the spine. Slowly exhale on the back of the throat like you're fogging up a mirror with lips closed. Releasing the hands down by the side, feeling the weight of your arms at your side. Feeling length in your neck, let the shoulders move back and shoulder blades slide down. Notice the breath light up your inner worlds. Let that breathing be your anchor over and over again. And even more, notice yourself returning to that anchor and releasing the thoughts. 3 sun salutation A. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up, look up. Exhale and slowly forward fold, relaxing through the neck. Inhale, halfway lift and open up your spine. Exhale to plant the hands down, stepping it back into your plank position. Take a deep, long inhale at plank, and on the exhale, chaturanga. If you need to come onto the knees and do so, bend the elbows directly behind you. Inhale, upward dog, send the hips close to the wrists. Open up your hearts, send the heart forward. Exhale, slow rhythmic breaths. space between the shoulder blades. Lengthen your low back. Hollow out the low belly. Release the neck completely. Gazing towards the front. Inhale, walk or float the feet all the way forward. Open up your spine, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold, relaxing through the neck. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms all the way up. Gaze up at your thumbs as your palms touch. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands by the side. 2 more, sun salutation A. Inhale, arms all the way up. Feel the rib cage pull away from pelvic floor. Exhale, forward fold, relax through the neck. Inhale, halfway lift and uncoil your spine. Exhale, planting the hands down, step it back into your plank position. Deep breath there. On the exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Send the heart forward, toes behind you. Exhale, downward dog. 5 rhythmic breaths. So try to continuously release any rigidity. Releasing the rigidity by instead focusing on the smooth, rhythmic quality of your breathing, or noticing the return to the sensations moment by moment of the breathing. Trying to visualize the breath move from the pelvic floor, reach all throughout the back of your ribs, allowing the top of the inhale to fully expand your heart. And as you exhale, at the very end of the exhale, notice the pelvic floor connection. Shoulders away from the neck. If you have tight hamstrings, then make sure that you're continuously bending into your knees to lengthen up your low back as much as possible. Gaze forward. Inhale, walk or float the feet all the way forward to open up the chest, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, relax. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up. Look up. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands by the side. 1 more. Inhale, arms all the way up. Pull the rib cage up. Exhale, forward fold, relaxing through the neck. Inhale, feel the breath travel through the spine. Exhale, planting the hands down, stepping it back into your plank position. Lengthen up your whole body, engage the low belly. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Shoulders move back. Exhale, downward dog. 5 slow inhales and exhales. Follow the sensations of your breathing. Release rigid ideas of the form. Two more breaths. Gaze forward. Inhale, walk or float the feet all the way forward. Uncoil the spine. Feel the breath travel through the spine. Exhale, fold. Relax the neck. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms all the way up, looking up at the palms as the palms touch. And exhale, Samastitihi, hands by the side. Padahastasana, stepping the feet hip distance apart. And once the feet are hip distance, hands onto the hips. So make sure that your toes are in the line of your heels instead of letting the toes point out. And feel that really strong connection to your roots. Feel the strong connection to the soles of your feet. Instead of allowing yourself to just feel heavy here standing in this posture, feel the constant lift of your arches. So maybe you lift up the toes for a moment and notice the different sensation of your whole legs, all of your legs, as you lift up all of your toes, and notice that engage through the quadriceps, engage your shins, feeling an upward energy moving up through the body. And then trying to keep the arches of the feet, press your toes back down. Hands onto hips, inhale, pull your heart up. Exhale, lead with your heart to forward fold, placing your hands completely under your feet. So don't just get your fingers, Get your whole palm. Bend into your knees if you have super tight hamstrings, and completely drop the head. So even if you have tight hamstrings, it's okay to just let yourself notice how it feels to bend deeply there, bringing your chest closer to the tops of your thighs and noticing how it feels to maybe, with time, pull the elbows directly away from each other to get yourself to straighten through the legs a little bit more. Again, if you're feeling it too much in one part of your body, where can you sensitize within your body with your breathing? So pay more attention to the moment by moment sensations of your breathing instead of identifying with discomfort. Don't identify with limiting thoughts. Instead, feel into the flow of the breath throughout the body. Maybe feeling the breath expand behind the kidneys. One more inhale. Slow exhale. Releasing the hands. Inhale, halfway lift and open up the chest. Exhale to plant the hands down, stepping it back into your plank position. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, chaturanga, engage the low belly. Inhale, upward dog, send the shoulders back. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe there. Nice deep inhale. Slow, smooth exhale. Bringing the right foot all the way forward. Maybe you want to lift the right leg up if you'd like, or just go ahead and bring your right knee in towards your body. Send your tailbone up and bring your right foot all the way between the hands. Extended side angle pose. Left heel is down. Bring your right arm, right elbow onto the right knee, and inhale to reach the left arm all the way up. So extended side angle pose. Make sure that your right knee is in line with the right hip. So don't let the right knee collapse inward and the right hip pop out. Instead, bring it in the same line and try to feel now your left ribs pull over the right ribs, reaching the left arm all the way up, down. Can you notice that instead of crunching into your neck and shoulders, that you're creating space between the shoulder blades, lengthening up your neck as much as possible. One more breath there. Exhale into your triangle pose. Straighten out the right leg. And once you stay on your right shin, then stay on your right shin. Bring the left arm all the way up. Again, trying to find the twist not happening from your left shoulder, but instead find the twist happening from the very base of your spine. Happening from the base of your spine, and then feeling the external rotation of the right hip. Once you deeply externally rotate the right hip, see if you can also externally rotate the left hip. One more breath. Feel activity in all 5 points. Your head, each of your palms, and each of your feet. One more breath. Warrior 2. Warrior 2 for 5 breaths. Noticing your right knee directly over the right heel, and then lift up the heart space. Try to neutralize any curving you have in your low back and straighten through your spine so you're not leaning forward. One more breath there. Reverse your warrior. Send your right arm all the way up towards the sky and back overhead. Instead of collapsing into the left side of your body, feel your right ribs pulling you forward. One more breath. Exhale back to warrior 2, and on the inhale, crescent lunge. Bending deeply into the right knee, noticing the psoas stretch on the left side. Take a nice long inhale, lift up through the heart, crescent lunge. You're on your left tippy toes. One more breath, sink into it a little bit deeper. Exhale, twisted crescent lunge. Press the left hand down, and instead of just twisting up right away, make sure that you have plenty of space from your left hand to your right foot. So you want about the distance of an entire mat when you twist up open. So feeling your right fingertips actively pulling you up towards the sky. Feel that left heel pulling you back. Feel the crown of the head pulling you forward. Maybe you want to go deeper with your twist today. See if you can hook your left elbow onto that right knee, and then prayer your hands at your heart. So noticing what it feels like to challenge yourself. Maybe you want to leave the left knee down so you can go deeper into the twist. See if you can bring the left knee up off the mat. Slowly exhale to release. And once you release, press your left palm down with your right palm. Press onto the inside of the right knee. Pressing onto the inside of the right knee should allow for the right foot to roll off to the very edge, and then twist back. Look towards your right shoulder. Feel the breath there. Opening up the heart. Deep external rotation of that right hip. One more breath. Back to center. Send the right leg up with compassion towards yourself. So notice the left knee come up. Send the right leg all the way back up behind you. And three-legged dog, bend into the right knee. Open up the right hip. See if you want to go into your wild thing, or just stay here for a moment, unlocking that right hip. If you want to go into a wild thing, it's a modified side plank. Left leg straight, right shoulder over left palm, and reach the right arm forward as you bring your hip bones up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly sending it back, and then find a vinyasa, a down dog, or a child's pose, whatever is calling you. Listen to your breathing as you do so. So if you're going to vinyasa, inhale to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe there. One more nice long inhale. Coming into a child's pose, taking rest for a few breaths, letting yourself notice what it feels like to come into a state of homeostasis once again, feeling your breathing, coming back into a state of calm. Let yourself enjoy this aliveness in your heart, letting yourself notice how wonderful it feels to experience that heartbeat. One more slow inhale. Deep exhale. Slowly coming back into your downward dog. From your downward dog, inhale to bring the left foot all the way forward. Right knee, right heel goes down. Extended side angle pose. Bringing the left elbow onto the left knee and bring that right arm straight up towards the sky or right up overhead. Making sure that you're creating plenty of space between the shoulder blades and noticing how it feels to really reach and extend without hurting your neck or your shoulders. So continuously trying to feel that back heel behind you. Breathe into that long line on the right side of your body. Exhale slowly, straighten the left leg, triangle pose. Instead of trying to reach down to your feet or the floor, focus more on straightening out the line on the left side of your body. So you want, instead of reaching down to the floor by arching into the left side of your body, instead, how can you lengthen up your left armpit away from your left hip? And from there, keep creating space throughout your spine. Keep externally rotating the hips. One more smooth inhale. Exhale slowly into a warrior two. So for your warrior two, making sure that your left knee is directly over the left heel. 3 more breaths. Gaze at your left fingertips. Come back to a smooth quality of breath. Shoulder blades drop behind you as you lift your heart. 1 more breath. Exhale to reverse your warrior. Feel a nice stretch on the left side. Back to a warrior two. And on the inhale, crescent lunge. Reaching the arms all the way up, stacking the left knee directly over the left heel. Bend deeper into that left knee for a few more breaths. Lift up your heart. Feel a nice long stretch on the right side of your body. Breathe. 1 more inhale. Exhale, pressing the hand down, right hand down, and then make plenty of space from your right hand to the left foot. So wiggle out the left foot So it's about the distance of your mat. And from there, twist open towards the left. Gazing at the left fingertips without collapsing into that right shoulder. So make sure that you're not just kind of hanging out and putting all of this weight onto your right shoulder. Instead, feel the activity of your left fingertips pulling you up. One more breath. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe you bring your right knee down and try to hook your right elbow outside of the left knee. Bringing your palms together at heart center and twist from the very bottom of the spine. Maybe you bring your right knee up off the mat. One more breath. And slowly exhale, bring the right knee down. Right hand goes back down and press the left palm on the inside of the left knee. Pressing the left palm on the inside of the left knee so you can deeply externally rotate that left hip. Let the left foot roll off to the very outside edge. One more breath. Exhale, coming back down. Bring both palms down to center. And slowly send the right leg all the way back up. Three-legged dog, bending into the left knee, opening up the left hip. Open up the left psoas if you want your wild thing. Remembering it's a modified side plank. Hip bones go up towards the sky, protect the right shoulder, and exhale to come back to center. Inhale the left leg up. And Vinyasa, down dog, or child's pose. Your journey, your practice. Listen to your breathing wherever you go, whatever you choose. And then slowly coming into a child's pose. For this child's pose, letting yourself open up the knees. Feel the breath as it travels through the spine. One more inhale. Gazing forward and slowly find your way into a comfortable seated position. Once you find your way in your comfortable seated position, reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So for your reverse tabletop, your feet are going to be the distance of your hips and your fingertips are about a foot behind your hips. And then from there, you're going to inhale, bring your hips up in line with your knees and shoulders and drop the head behind you. Breathe here, 3 rhythmic breaths. 2 more. Send your hips higher. If you can go into reverse plank, then straighten your legs and bring your toes together. Slowly with the next exhale, bring your hips back down. Forward fold. Fold. Instead of letting go of the energy in your legs, keep the energy of your legs as if you were in standing poses. So feel your arch, engage your shins, engage your quadriceps, and then notice that you're trying to make a little bit of space from your lowest rib to your pelvic floor. So lift up through the ribs, and from there, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold to your first layer of resistance. Let go of your identification with what you normally feel in this posture. Let go of judging yourself for thinking that you're tighter than usual, and instead navigate your inner landscape. Navigate your inner landscape by noticing the engagement at your ankles, allowing you to feel more of your legs, allowing you to potentially visualize your hamstrings and notice them getting longer without overstretching. Seeing if instead of rounding into your spine to reach to your feet, that instead you compassionately let yourself stay at maybe your shins or your ankles and keep feeling the pull of your heart lifting away from the ground floor. Maybe you let your spine undulate a little bit with every breath. Maybe you feel the breath travel and flow along the front of the spine. And every time you exhale, maybe you pull your elbows back. 3 more breaths like this. Undulate, feel the breath travel through the front of the spine. Exhale, maybe you can go lower. Or maybe you just let yourself continuously notice this container of sensations. One more. Butterfly pose. Bringing the soles of your feet together, Baddha Konasana. So before we fold any deeper, first notice your soles of your feet pressing together. And once your soles of your feet are pressed together, see what it feels like to let your tailbone kind of tuck under a little bit. Letting the tailbone kind of tuck under will let your hips externally rotate a little bit more. And then from there, grabbing the arches of your feet, lengthen up your spine. Keep noticing the energy of your hip flexors. Keep trying to notice the energy of your hips externally rotating as you lengthen your spine up towards the sky. Feel your heart lifting. Remembering how we were feeling and scanning the inside of our body with our breathing at the very beginning of the class, do that now. So noticing the inhale travel from the pelvic floor, reach behind the kidneys, expanding the ribs, especially the low ribs out to the side. And when you exhale, let yourself notice the lower belly coming back towards the spine. Feel the inhale, lengthening up the spine. Exhale deeply. Keep letting yourself feel the rhythm of your breath flow through your body. So instead of feeling really, really rigid to try to hold the posture as much as you can, let yourself flow with the breath. So you feel the inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, last one. Feel the breath flow from the front of the spine. Open up the spine. Exhale. And slowly letting yourself come to laying down on your back. Good job with the breath. So once you come to laying down on your back, letting yourself bring the ankle onto the left knee. Press the right knee away from your body, and then you can stay hanging out here, or if you would like to go a little bit deeper, bring your left knee closer to your body and bring your right hand in between that little triangle you created with your legs, and your left thigh or on top of that left shin, stretching out that right hip. Feel the breath there. Inhales. Slow exhales. Straighten left. So as you straighten that left leg up, feel that massage of the low back. Notice up your low back as much as you can. Or down towards the ground, the mat, and then twisting the knees over towards the left. Spinal twist, gazing towards the right shoulder. Letting yourself notice how different it feels in this spinal twist compared to that first one. Maybe you can notice yourself relax to the right shoulder a little bit more as you gaze towards the right shoulder. And now that you've been investigating this container of sensations, maybe you can go a little bit deeper. Let yourself tune in. Slowly coming back to center with your exhalation. Left goal onto, and then placing the left hand in that triangle, bring the right foot up off the mat and interlace your fingers behind that right thigh. Keep pressing your left knee away from your body. So instead of just letting the left knee come close to you, we're trying to externally rotate that left hip. And then maybe you notice yourself grab the top of the right knee Maybe taking it a little bit deeper that way. Find the breath once again, and for the last few breaths, straighten the right leg, interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh, and point your heel towards as you notice that length in your low back. Smooth breath there. Bending into the right knee once again, and slowly right knee, gaze towards your left arm as it extends out towards the side. Release the rigid ideas of the posture. Tune in to the sensations without clinging to our thoughts of what this feels like, and instead letting yourself become so much more aware of the container of sensations, coming closer to being a witness of your experience. Slowly exhale back to center, and bringing your soles of your feet down onto the mat for bridge pose. Your knees don't go out to the side. Press your palms down onto the mat, heels in line with your hips. Make sure your knees don't point out. On the inhale, slowly bring the hips up. Maybe you let yourself restoratively go into bridge today and you only bring your hips up off the mat about an inch. So you can truly let yourself notice gravity push down on the low belly. Or maybe you go a little bit deeper, come up a little bit higher with your hips. If you go really high up with your hips, the tendency is to let the knees go out. Keep them in the line of your hips. Maybe you stack your fists under your sacrum. Stretch out deeper throughout the waist. One more breath. And slowly exhaling back down. Shoulder stand. So for your shoulder stand, if you don't want to go into full shoulder stand, then bring your heels directly up over your hips and point your toes towards your body. Point your heels away from your body. Yourself active here. Breathe. If you want to go into shoulder stand, then bring your palms under your low back first, and then see if you can walk your palms higher up your back. Squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your elbows together behind you. If your elbows are pointing outward, that might be putting a little bit too much pressure on your neck. So try to squeeze your elbows behind you as much as possible so that the most amount of weight is on your elbows. Feel the activity in your toes, energetically engage through your toes so you're not collapsing onto your elbows and your shoulders. One more breath. Exhale, halasana. Let the toes go past the head. Once the toes go past the head, maybe you want to tuck your toes under. Your hips directly up over the shoulders. Don't look side to side. Maybe you exhale, bringing your knees to your forehead or the outside of the forehead. And very slowly, very mindfully, roll back down onto the spine. Feel the massage on your entire spine. Your roll cross-legged seated position. Once you roll forward into your cross-legged seated position, Vinyasa. So pressing your palms in front of your legs, and then slowly move back. Time. Deep inhale at your plank, and exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale for an upward dog. Let the heart move forward, let the shoulders move back. Exhale, downward dog. Breathing in your downward dog. One more smooth inhale. Slow exhale. Gaze forward, inhale, walk or float the feet forward into a cross-legged seated position. Once you come to seated position, laying down on your back, hands and feet straight up towards the sky. And shake, 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 shake. Shake your forearms, shake your biceps, shake your shoulders, shake your collarbone, shake every part of the body. Get out that tension from reading the news lines. Get out the tension from those horrible conversations we've been having. Get out all of it. Let yourself release. Don't hold back. Let it go. Let it go. Get it out of your system. Shake, 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 and release. Shavasana. Notice that aliveness, that current of energy that's flowing through your body, reminding you of its existence. Let yourself tune into that. Tune into how you're so much more than your thoughts. You have this profound aliveness within you. Take a smooth, long inhale here. Open the lips, observe the relaxation. 2 more like that, but pause at the very top of your inhale. Pause, noticing the energy all around your neck, chest. Open the lips. 1 more, really letting yourself observe the whole inhale and the journey of the inhale, letting yourself really pay attention to what it feels like to have the breath light up your inner worlds. Open the lips. And now letting yourself find any final adjustments for your Shavasana, laying down on your back. Maybe you observe with this quick scan the space around your shoulder blades and jaw, and see if you can release the tension that's there. Allowing yourself to observe, maybe even releasing the jaw by moving it side. Notice what it feels like to feel fully supported by the earth below you. Maybe it feels best to bend into the knees to support your low back a little bit more. If you do so, then let your heels come out towards the sides of the hips. Let your arms roll open. Let your feet roll open. And move your awareness between each of your toes, the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet, ankles, and slowly move up through the body this way, noticing if there's anything else where you can let your awareness rest there, allowing the tension to dissolve with each subtle inhale and exhale. Coming back to that natural rhythm of breath. Notice how subtle it feels now compared to the more expansive breathing throughout your practice. Can you even find that moment where it transitions from inhale to exhale? And the reverse. Inviting yourself to go deeper into this investigation of your anchor. The anchor of your awareness being the sensations within your container. Maybe you allow yourself to focus first on the left side of your body, letting your attention flow from the left foot up the left side of your body to the left side of your head. Doing this a few times. Letting yourself scan and investigate. Allowing the breath to glide through these dark corners of the insides of your existence. Let the breath light up your inner world. Letting it light up your inner world to become more aware. Becoming more connected to the movement of energy. And then notice your attention glide through the right side now. Maybe you even notice a difference, one side to the other, without trying to understand any of it. Simply letting yourself be more curious. Sensations moment by moment. And now that you've been rested here in Shavasana for a few moments, you can maybe potentially notice the transition of your heartbeats coming back to a more natural rhythm. Witness that. Maybe you can allow yourself to also investigate what it feels like to let go a little bit more. Feel all of the weight of your body fully supported by the earth below you. Very slowly beginning to wake up the body again with a slow inhale as you wiggle through the fingers and toes. And maybe you start to rotate the ankles and wrists. And then with your next inhale, letting yourself grow nice and long, reaching the arms all the way up overhead, letting your feet come together, toes pointing away from the fingers. Exhale to squeeze the knees into your chest, bringing yourself into a nice ball in a fetal position as you hold yourself there. Coming onto whatever side is calling you in this fetal position. Letting yourself stay there for a moment to honor this existence. To honor yourself for attempting to continuously let go of our thinking thoughts and instead observe this deeper part of ourself. Acknowledge that you attempted, acknowledge how it feels to become more aware. One more inhale, slow long exhale. Allowing yourself to journey back into a comfortable seated position once you're ready. And once you come back to this comfortable seated position, letting your eyes close, bringing your hands together at your heart center, letting yourself dedicate the energy of this practice to someone or something outside of yourself. Letting yourself clearly see this person or these groups and send them your well wishes. May they feel healthy and strong. May they be happy. May they be well in heart, body, and mind. Feel that as it resonates within your own body. May you feel healthy, happy, and strong. closing out the practice with an Om. Let yourself investigate the vibrations of your voice as it resonates through your body with the Om. Deeply inhale. Namaste.